Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Great 38 Rowdies Kickoff pregame show. I'm Jenn Holloway. On tonight's show, we're going to preview tonight's game against the Indy 11. We'll also take a look back at the whole 2014 season. Plus, I'll be joined on the bench by one of your favorite Rowdies. All right, let's head it over now to Jim and Trevor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last Rowdies Kickoff pregame show of the year. As always, I'm Jim Henderson, joined by Trevor DeGroot. Tonight, the Rowdies invite Indy 11 to Al Lang for the last game of the season. But first, last week, the Rowdies visited longtime rival, the New York Cosmos, at James Stewart Stadium. But Trevor, it didn't take the Rowdies long to get going.
Evan Frimpong comes through with the header right here off the free kick from Daryl Russell, setting him up. Jimmy Maurer, the keeper for the New York Cosmos, comes out, tries to punch it out. Just the aggressiveness cost him, and with no one covering on the backside, it's a 1-0 lead for Tampa Bay.
And Frimpong's first goal of the year for the Rowdies, and he celebrated it just a little bit. But it didn't take long, Trevor, for the Cosmos to get back.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kyle Clinton getting harassed right here by Sebastian Guenzati. It sets it up real nicely for Hakup Charishian. Nice goal right here. Matt Pickens just doesn't really come too far over to the post protecting. I think he's trying to watch for someone on the cross, but Hakup takes a shot at it, and just that little narrow window gets it right by to draw it even at 1-1.
How about Marco Senna? We've seen that act before.
Boy, I think Matt Pickens would need Mr. Fantastic super stretch powers to stop that one. An absolutely great free kick by Senna.
And watch this one. The Rowdies down in stoppage time. Not anymore.
A great one-timer by Anthony Wallace off the punch-out from Maurer, and Evan Frimpong just comes right back up to clean it up. Had Maurer stayed put where he was, he may have been able to catch it, but Evans does a nice job and just puts it away in stoppage time. Big goal to draw it even 2-2 for the final. Tonight is Fan Appreciation Night at Al Lang Stadium, and joining us tonight to sit down and talk with Jim is one of the biggest Rowdies fans and part of the fanatical Ralph's Mob. Jim?
Thanks, Trevor. Well, I'm pleased to be joined here by Jason Bruzacchese. He's the guy that heads up Ralph's Mob. Now, I'm sure you wonder who Ralph's Mob is. Jason, tell us exactly, who are you guys?
Well, we're the unofficial supporters group for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Going back probably into the 70s, not originally part of Ralph's Mob, but we use the concept of Ralph Rowdy, the original logo that the Rowdies used to carry. We show up at all the games, sometimes to the home games, every time to the home games, and then sometimes to the away games. And our job is basically to support the team through chants or songs, drum beats, claps. We do something at the beginning of every game called a tifo, which is an Italian word, tifosi. And it's just an orchestrated, representation of our support for the club. We mentioned Frankie Sanfilippo's 101st game. We supported Cole Eicher in his battle to recover from cancer. But basically our job is to be the entertainment that's not on the field.
Well, Jason, I know you guys have grown quite a bit. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it all started off back in 2008 when the team was just coming in from USL Pro 2. A few people got together on internet message boards and started talking about we need to be supporters of the group. And it started to spiral after that with FC Tampa Bay coming into fruition. Ralph's Mob showed up at Steinbrenner Field and banged on the drums and made a lot of noise and probably offended a few people in the process. But we've just grown exponentially in the meantime. A couple hundred people in the process. Now we're well over 200, with maybe 800 or so somewhere laying in the wings. But people recognize us. I know the team does. I know we tend to make a lot of noise at the games. So hopefully just get bigger.
Well, Jason, as we look into the future, what's ahead for Ralph's Mob?
Well, we're going to be like the club, hopefully grow in attendance, grow in size and number. be bigger and louder supporters, find new and creative and inventive ways to bring more of the game day experience into the stadium as well as onto the field. But for the most part, we hope that the team itself finds that the success level that they've had in the past, and we hope to be a part of that as well.
One more game tonight. I imagine we'll see you guys there.
Oh, yeah, we'll be making lots of noise. It's fan appreciation night, so we'll stick around for the fireworks. We're going to have a silent auction to help raise money for Ralph's Mob itself. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we live and die off of the kindness and generosity of other people.
Well, Jason, thanks very much for coming by.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, coming up in the second half of tonight's show, we're going to recap all the action from last week in the NASL. Plus, I'll be joined right here on the bench by a current Rowdy who grew up in San Diego alongside Rowdy's captain, Frankie Sanfilippo. Think you know who it is? You're going to find out when the Great 38 Rowdies Kickoff returns.
Welcome back to the Great 38 Rowdies Kickoff pregame show. As the NASL season draws to a close, each game is vital for those teams on the postseason bubble. Carolina in orange with playoff hopes, and things did not get off to a good start for the Railhawks here. But Railhawks goalkeeper Scott Goodwin's going to take care of business with this great save on the penalty kick by Jaime Chavez, and that got the Carolina Railhawks going. First goal will be courtesy of Devin Sandoval in the 37th minute for a 1-0 Railhawks lead. And then with time in the second half getting going, we have another penalty, and this time Nacho Novo seals the deal for the Railhawks.
The top two teams in the league, Minnesota United hosting the San Antonio Scorpions. The lone goal off the foot of Cesar Elizondo, a great through ball by Walter Restrepo, punches it right past Van Okel for the lone goal, 1-0 victory for the San Antonio Scorpions.
Tonight's opponent, Indy 11, on the road at Ottawa, and right away an early goal for Indy 11 by Julian gives the Indiana team a 1-0 lead. It stays that way till we get real close to the end of time when Victor Pineda will score goal number 2. Watch this one build up now. It's a great cross inside, and there's the header that makes it 2-0. Now Ottawa not finished yet. Oliver will get one back here to make it 2-1, but it's going to be too little and too late for Ottawa. 2-1 Indy.
Fort Lauderdale Strikers hosting FC Edmonton down in South Florida. Nice shot right here by Richie Jones in the 25th minute, but an excellent save by Kontafalski. Entering the second half right here, Kontafalski with a huge takedown to prevent FC Edmonton from having really any more chances throughout the game. But here's the difference right here. A nice disruption by Fafa Pikal. Smits makes a huge mistake as Pekka from the midfield in the 83rd minute puts it away. 1-0 Strikers, and that would be the difference. A big win for Fort Lauderdale to stay in the playoff chase.
This is the last week of play in the NASL, but the postseason picture is still taking shape. The top 4 teams at the moment are Minnesota, San Antonio, New York, and Fort Lauderdale, but there are teams right behind them waiting for their opportunity. And Trevor, right now, Minnesota, if it reaches the final, will host twice. San Antonio is going to host a semifinal game. Rest of it's not real clear.
Yeah, New York is pretty much virtually in at that 3rd seed, though. They just have to clean up and just have a really strong outing this last game. From there, it's a two-team race for that 4th spot. It's Fort Lauderdale and Carolina. Fort Lauderdale, if they win, they're in. No problems whatsoever in a tie. And virtually, unless Carolina, by some miracle, has so many goals in one game, like 15 or so, it's really unrealistic. So the only way Carolina can get in is if with a win and a Fort Lauderdale loss.
And, of course, the playoffs will begin the week after the regular season ends, with just 1 week from tonight. Trevor, the playoffs ought to be good.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. You see Minnesota and San Antonio, the way they played consistently all year. It's going to be very tough for New York and whoever comes out of that 4th spot to really challenge them on the road, too. So those two teams, whoever they may be, have to really have strong outings on the road if they want a chance at the Soccer Bowl.
When we come back to the Great 38 Rowdies kickoff, I'll be joined by a Rowdies player right here on the bench. This week's Rowdy won a NCAA national championship with North Carolina playing for the Tar Heels. Think you know the Rowdies? You'll find out more when the Great 38 Rowdies kickoff returns.
Welcome back to the Great 38 Rowdies Kickoff pregame show. Now let's send it over to Jenn Holloway from Great 38 to see who's on the bench.
Thanks, guys. We're here on the bench today with Jordan Gaffa. Jordan, you've been with the Rowdies for 2 seasons so far, but let's back up. You're from California. Talk about how you got into soccer.
Yeah, sure. I'm from San Diego, California. Started playing at a very young age, and after high school, I earned a scholarship to North Carolina Tar Heels, and after that, I went to MLS Combine and was with the Columbus Crew for a little bit and ended up at the Rowdies. And my mentor, Frankie Sanfilippo, helped me out get here, and he coached me through high school ever since I was young. Very good friends, and been happy here ever since.
Because you guys met when you were, what, 5 years old?
Yeah, I was about 5. He's obviously older than me, but he's looked after me and taught me a lot of things. I always looked up to him, watched his games when I was younger, went to his tournaments, and he's just someone good to look up to, you know what I mean?
It's a blessing to have a mentor like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. At UNC, as a Tar Heel, what did you learn there, you think, that helped propel you for the Rowdies?
Sure, well, obviously, UNC is in the ACC conference, and I think it's, if not the best conference in the nation, so you're playing at a very high level, and a lot of kids go to the next level of professional after that. So I think that definitely helped me, and going to 4 college cups and national championship my senior year, winning it was very nice, and I think that prepared me pretty well for the next level. So.
Excellent. So here you are now with the Rowdies. You're in your 2nd season. You're the 4th youngest player. What do you think, does that help you, being one of the younger ones, being able to learn from some of the older guys?
Yeah, I'd say, I got my chance last year to play, and I thought I did a pretty good job coming in, but I think this year is a different approach. I think I've been maturing more as a player, even though I haven't got too many games till the end of this year, but sometimes when you get to step back and see from practice angle and keep putting the work in, you get to learn and get experience from the veterans on the team. They point all these little things out, so it helps a lot if you're paying attention.
Excellent. And working with a coach like Ricky Hill, he's just fantastic.
Yeah, he's got incredible experience. I mean, everybody looks up to him. I mean, look at his resume. He's just a great guy, very personable, and always very encouraging since the day I've gotten here, and couldn't be more happy,
That's excellent. All right, let's talk about tonight's game. What are you going to focus on yourself?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a team effort from every single one of us. It's going to be a pride thing too. I mean, it's our last game, so we want to get a win for our fans. They've been great all year, and obviously we just came back from a pretty good result, I would say, in New York. Tying them to Cosmos is not an easy thing to do, but main focus is team effort, coming out with a win for our final game of the season, going into next season.
Excellent. Well, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and I am assuming you hope to be with the Rowdies again next year. No plans of going elsewhere?
I hope so, yes.
All right. Jordan, thanks for your time, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jenn. I'll tell you what, Jordan Gaffa, national champion captain at North Carolina, but I guess more importantly, Trevor, a great relationship with Frankie Sanfilippo.
Yeah, the families have really known each other since Jordan was 5. And, of course, Frankie being the longtime captain of this group for so long, those two have really shared a really strong bond with each other. So it goes to show how strong Jordan's played in these past few games since he's had an opportunity to play.
Yeah, and, of course, Frankie's been the right back a lot of times for the Rowdies. That's where Jordan plays. It's almost like Frankie's setting it up for Jordan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he actually had some really good times playing out there when Frankie went down, and when Jordan got plugged back in, was very aggressive, cleared it, made some great clearances down the stretch here. So it kind of rubs off, as you said, Jim, the play from Frankie to Jordan.
As the season winds down, we are going to take a look back at all the great action and excitement from the Rowdies this year.
Here's some of the best Rowdies highlights.
Welcome back to the Grade 38 Rowdies Kickoff Pregame Show. The Rowdies have one last showdown this season. That's tonight against Indy 11. Now, Trevor, these teams have played each other a couple of times this year, and the Rowdies have had the advantage. Now, how are they going to keep that going tonight against this Indy 11 team that's pretty hot?
Yeah, 3-game winning streak, 4-game unbeaten streak. I mean, Michael Lambersley and Kleberson have been absolutely fantastic these past few games. Got to stop that momentum. I mean, you want to bring the home crowd home happy with a victory and the season home with a victory. You know, you have to really stop those two guys.
And, of course, it's fan appreciation night tonight, and the Rowdies have struggled to win some lately, no doubt about that. But what a great way to finish the season if they can get it done tonight.
Yeah, I mean, these fans are, so fantastic. Obviously, we've talked about Ralph's Mob today. These guys are very, very fanatical. So, and some fireworks afterwards, and hopefully there'll be some fireworks in the nets for the Rowdies side tonight.
And there is a connection, the Rowdies with Ricky Hill, the head coach. His counterpart, Jurgen Sommer, they played in England, not at the same time, same team.
Yeah, so these two guys maybe have similar styles perhaps in their, back in their playing days. You never know. Maybe these teams only played twice already and not since early in the fall. So a lot of changes could be happening, a lot of mixing and matching. It'll be a chess game between these two guys tonight.
And, of course, with this being the last game, a couple guys we should talk about. Georgie Ristoff, Tamika Makandawiri, two guys that have really, really played well for the club this year.
Yeah, I think they've been the two most consistent guys in their respective positions. I think Georgie, obviously, the leading goal scorer, he plays pretty consistently and is always an offensive threat. And Tamika came in and did a nice job stapling that back four together to really have some good games in the middle of the fall season. So those two guys were probably the best players this year. From everyone here at Grade 38, thank you for joining us all season long on the Grade 38 Rowdies Kickoff Show.
We will see you in a few minutes for kickoff. It's the Rowdies versus Indy 11. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Oh yeah! Yeah!